Hey guys, it's Rachel here with Senza Cane Corso. So I've got not Chala. I just did a training session with Chala. Come here. Come on. And shh. I'm watching Chala real quick. I'm having to make eye contact with her because she's over there pacing because she's hyper aggressive and super drivey. And it's actually why I've decided not to breed her. I had somebody asking about it and I really thought about it a lot. And I have a small program and I don't want to make it seem like that a dog like that shouldn't be bred, because a lot of Corso are like that. And so it's not something that is like abnormal. There's a reason that people say that Corso are not for everyone. There's a reason that people say you shouldn't have females together, or males together. And so I'm not going to sit here and act like there's anything wrong with that dog. But what I will tell you is that I personally have a smaller program and I don't want dogs like that in my program because I run a pack. I like my dogs to get along, and I don't feel that having dog aggression is necessarily a benefit to the breed and like what they're supposed to do and blah blah blah. And it's really not even the dog aggression. That much I could work with. It's the drive. She's super drivey. And so anyway, so I've decided to walk away from that. Batista has produced other dogs that are very nice and that are not like that. In particular, hold on, she stepped on the back of my shoe and I had to fix it. And in particular, that breeding was a line breeding that we did, the recent I did, and it just, for me, wasn't what I was looking for. And so anyway, so Chala is going to go over to another breeder friends of mine who has been breeding for a very long time, over 25 years, and they will know. He's worked with, most of the dogs were like that early on. Many of them still are. And he knows, he's fine with it. He doesn't need, his dogs are never around each other. And so it is what it is. So this dog's, like I said, she's not been on a leash before. And she's actually doing really well for not having been on a leash before. But, every now and then, she kind of shuts down a little bit. She's like, hey, what is this? She thinks she could submit through it, which is fine because she's a good girl and she's submissive. Good girl. And so I'm not going to praise her too much because she got a little too excited there. But come here. Come on. Give it. There you go. All right. Little gentle. Good girl. Come on. And come on. So depending upon the dog, sometimes I leash train them earlier than this. But with her, it just had, oh, watch out now, you're going to make me trip over you. I just hadn't. No, Remy. She gets a little too excited. There we go. Now, the trick is normally not to let them feel that pull. But obviously, sometimes you can't do nothing about it. As she just did. And so she's just trying to understand what this is. And I'm just being calm and acting like it's no big deal, because it's not. And when she shuts down kind of like this, I will not try to get her to move until she's kind of had a moment to realize that nothing's going to happen. And she starts like this, exploring again. And then I'll call her, come on. And I'll walk in this direction and get her to come with me. Come on. Come on. Good girl. Now, I don't want her to get too excited because I don't want her to do that run and jump thing again. Good girl. Good girl. Oh, she stopped in front of me, laid down. That's fine. Give her a minute. The reason why I'm not yanking on her and pulling her and trying to get her to get up and walk for me, Grim, cut it out. The reason why I'm not trying to get her to do anything is because right now I just want her to accept being on leash. I'm not trying to train anything other than just her accepting that she's on a leash and that it's not going to hurt her. All that other instruction will come later after the fact. And I'll even let her lead sometimes. That way she can see that it doesn't mean she can't go where she wants to go. It doesn't have to be a negative experience. She got a little insecure about me following her, but that's okay. She is more of a submissive dog. So now she is, I will tell you, she's not a punk. I had her in with Ibiza, Nirvana's daughter. And they kind of had a moment. And so I had to separate them. I don't remember what for, but they got a little worked up and decided that they didn't want to be roommates anymore, and that was fine. So she's not a punk or anything. I don't want to seem like, I know that there will be people who will think that I'm getting rid of a strong dog, a tough dog. I've had people do that before where they'll accuse me of saying, well, she just can't handle it. No, it's not that I can't handle it. I don't want to. It's a very different thing. You know what I mean? I don't want to have to worry about it. And the reality is that most people can't handle it, and they are going into homes where most people are not looking for that, nor can they handle it whenever it is there. And there are less and less and less trainers that are able to even help people with dogs like that. And there are beginning to be less and less tools to be able to work with dogs like that. And people are afraid. I had a guy who bought a dog from me recently, and he's afraid to correct his dog because people give him looks and stuff like that in public. And so we're getting to this time where there are people that are trying to pressure breeders into breeding dogs that really don't have a place in society anymore, or in very few places. And so while I definitely still want my dogs to be confident, I want them to be protectors, I want them to be able to do their job and be confident, but I also don't want problematic dogs that are gonna challenge their owners or have unnecessary prey drive, and are just, a nuisance to work with and train. And so anyway, so that's just kind of where I'm at with it. So I don't care. Other people can do what they want to do. They can say what they want to say. But at the end of the day, I'm the one here with the dogs. I'm the one running my program, and I'm going to run mine the way that I see fit. And so, that's just what I'm going to do. So yeah. So this female here, I really like her. She's got really fantastic structure. She's out of Preacher and Mona. And the first breeding that I did with Mona, she's got really, 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 really good front, a really good front assembly, a rear assembly. I mean, she's a very nice dog. She's only about, I think she's maybe like 9 months old right now or something like that. She's very young. And for her age, she's very big. I do keep my dogs leaner, and she is a taller and leaner dog to start with. Come on, girl. Let's see if we can get her to move. Good girl. Come here. Oh, I don't know what that was. Come here. Come on, baby. Remy. Remy. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl, Remy. I'll give her lots of praise for that. And this is a pretty good marker here because we traveled all the way down, and now we're going to where I'm actually putting a little bit of pressure on her to move the way that I want, and she's not fighting me or shutting down like she was, where she was laying down, and I'm kind of ignoring her. We did a moment right there where she went around. Oh, there we go. So she did a lay down because she got up underneath me, did around me. I had to grab the leash, and she's like, I don't know what this is, but I'm going to submit, it is what it is. Yeah, Grim is such a loud dog. Okay, so now we'll walk this way. We're walking back the way once we just came, and she's doing good. Now I'm actually gonna stop her from crossing me. See, and this is where you get a little bit of the instruction. Oh, now she tried to lay down. Oh, so we have a siren. Good girl. No, don't jump on me. You're fine. You're fine. She's so much like her sister Blondie. It's ridiculous. She's really like a blonde. She's like the real Blondie 2.0. Huh. I wonder. Quit. There's usually accidents right over here at this. There's a stop over here. Looks like there was an accident there. Sounds like. Quit. Sounds like there was an accident. Quit. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That wasn't good. So she was laying on the leash. Quit. She keeps rolling up in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take up the leash in my hand so there's less leash for her to do that with. All right, come here. Up, 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 up. Come on. Good girl. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this way. It's important that when you're training a dog that you go different ways. Come on, girl. Remy, come on. Good girl. There you go. Now I'm trying to keep her on. Oh, she's going to step on my shoes. Oh, it's one of my pet peeves is when a dog steps on my shoes. Come on. Come on, Remy. Good girl. There you go. So she's trying to cut me off again. Come on. Come on. She's shutting down a little bit. Come on. Remy. Good girl. That's fine. Good girl. Come on, Remy. Come on, girl. Oh, there goes my shoe again. Awesome. So now what I will do with a dog that does that is I will use my back leg to kick behind me to redirect them to the other side. Because that can actually become a habit of dogs where they'll try to cross over constantly behind you. Come on. And so I will gently, not gently, but I'm not going to, try to kick them hard, but I'm going to use my foot in such a way as to prevent them from going that way and them kind of learning that that's not an option. All right. So she's doing good. We're going to keep moving with some purpose. Come on. She's getting a little stubborn on me, wanting to slow down. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a different turn. I'm going to cut around her from the front like this. Come on. Come on. Now, a lot of times when they try to do that crossover thing, it's whenever they get behind you. Come on. They'll literally try to get, come on. Come on. Get up, 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 up. So she wanted to lay down. I prevented her. Come on, Remy. Come on. So she's being a little stubborn. There we go. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. I'm going to cross over her again. Come on. Remy, come. Come on. Good girl. Good girl. Come on. But you got to be willing to do it both ways. So now she's seeing it's okay. Everything is fine. Grim, shut up. So she tried to cross over. And I gave her the foot. Now we're going to go this way. Come on. Come on. Good girl. Now, it's a little bit, you'll find that oftentimes when you do it that way, because you're not cutting in front of them, they do have a tendency sometimes to be like, they're like, oh, well, I can go where I want because you're not on that outside anymore, cutting them off and kind of directing them. And so it's more about them doing what they need to do, less about you ensuring that they do. And so it's better for the obedient side. Good girl. So now I'm going to cross over from the front. Good girl, Remy. Good girl, Remy. And as you can see, within, this is a 14-minute video right at this point. Within that amount of time, we got a dog that was shutting down, not wanting to be on the leash to, come on, I would say we've got, what, 80% at least participation. And there's been a couple times she slowed down. I'm going to go back on the outside. See here? It's a little bit different. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. A little bit of encouragement there. There we go. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. But she's doing good. Come on, girl. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Now, what I had to do, though, is once she understood the concept of what I was asking her to do, then whenever she would try to shut down, then I would kind of pull her out of it and say, no, we're not going to lay down right now. Now, this time I'm going to let her go on the outside here. Come on. Come on. And that's why it's so important. You see, she's kind of giving me some hesitation. Come on. Because we didn't go that way. And so it's important that you practice turning both ways, that you practice with the dog on the outside and that you practice turning into the dog so that you're on the outside of the turn. Very important. As you can see, she's doing well. She's not trying to cross behind. She's not trying to cross ahead. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something different. And instead of going all the way around, I'm going to go this way. And I'm going to pause. I'm going to give her a moment to explore and rest a little bit. Because we did some work. And I don't want to put too much pressure on her too fast. And I want her to know that it's not just work. And that she can also do what she wants to do a little bit. And she's going to do circles. Sometimes you'll get dogs that'll do that. They'll be their own worst enemy, try to do circles around you. And then when the leash gets caught up, then they'll act like you're out to get them. And you just got to do that little dancey dance with them and get the collar out from underneath them. And so we're letting her rest a little bit. And then what I'll do is I'll take her around here one time. As long as she does that well, I'll end the training session with her. And we'll probably do it again tomorrow. And this dog will be leash trained. And it will have taken all of 2 15-minute sessions. If I hadn't been talking to you guys during it and taken that little talking break over there, we would have ended it in 15 minutes. But I often tell people that 15 minutes a day, 3 times a week, will produce the best dog you've ever had in your life. Come on. But the reality is that most people don't want to take the time. Come on. And you know, to dedicate to that, to just doing the training. Come on. Let's go. Come on, baby. So there's lots of poops over here. See those smells? There's lots of people have been pooping over here. Dogs have been pooping over here. Yeah, she wants to smell it. No, come on. Let's go, Remy. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. So when she did what I wanted, gave her that praise. Come on. So at first the praise was getting her a little too excited, but now it's doing good because she's calmed down a bit. And, you know, that's why I tell people, when people ask me, why haven't you written a book? Well, because every dog is an individual and every moment is an individual moment. And you can't train dogs with a one-size-fits-all approach. You might be able to train some basic tricks like sit, stay, lay down, things like that. But you will not be able to really work with a dog with a one-size-fits-all. And even then, whenever you do those other kinds, they're very often treat-driven. And so you may be able to get the dog to perform those treats or perform those behaviors in the moment for a reward. But in a stressful situation, maybe at a dog park or when you're out in public, you won't have control because the excitement of whatever it is that dog is being exposed to can very often be more rewarding than what you consider to be the reward, which could very well just be a dried up piece of chicken in your pocket. So that kind of training is really not suitable for everyday practical use. It's good for YouTube videos, for making people think that you have a well-trained dog. Come on. So she's getting a little stubborn on me. Come on. head up. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. So she's got her head to the floor. What I'm going to do, because she's kind of being disrespectful. Psh, psh. So you see, she's dancing around. Is I'm going to move my collar placement up, which normally I don't do right off because it produces a choking sensation when you pull up and whenever they go crazy, and like how she was doing whenever she wanted to shut down and whatnot. Come on. And so I don't like to do it early on. Come on. But when they know what they're supposed to do, and you see, and she's just got her head on the ground, and I want her to pick her head up, then I can use quit. Quit. See how she wants to freak out about it? That's okay. I'm going to let her have a moment with it and get readjusted to the feel of the collar up here. Come on. Now I know somebody's going to try to get mad at me over the pee. That really doesn't matter. Not whenever you know what you're doing. Here we go. So we got some better. Come on. Let's go. Come on. So she's still trying to fight me a little bit. That's okay. Come on. Good girl. Come on. Head up. Come on. Good girl. Head up. Come on. Come on. Come on. So I'm just lifting that head back up a bit. Good girl. Good girl. Let her down for a second. As long as she picks it back up. Come on, girl. Good girl. Yes. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Now she's not fighting it anymore. And her head is up. Pardon. Yeah, but that's a form of like protest you'll get out of some dogs. Good girl. Good girl. Where they will, good girl. Where they will put that head down and try to just drag behind you. And I don't play that game. So I move the collar up correctly where they can't fight me on it. Good girl. I'm going to go around here one time because she's doing really good. We're almost done. Come on, girl. Good girl. Good girl. And I want it to end on a positive note. Come on, girl. Come on. Come on. Come around. Good girl. Good girl. Yes. Good girl. Good girl. Head is up nicely. There's some lax here, so it's not full tension. Now when she goes down, I do, but it's not maintaining that pressure. She's doing good. Come on. Come on. Good girl. Come on. Come on. Good girl. Yes. Good girl. All right, hold on. Now we're here at the gate. That way I don't teach her to run out of here. We're going to pause at the gate. Good girl. Yes. Good girl. Good girl. Yeah. So as you can tell, she's fine. She's not, she's less submissive than she was before. So we've not traumatized her at all. And she's learned to keep her head up when we're walking and not be stubborn. She's learned that the leash is not a problem. It's not going to hurt her. And that she does some work for me and we're good, and she gets praise and she gets love and acceptance, which is really all these dogs really want. And there was no treats needed. I'm not saying that you should never use treats, but I do find them to be somewhat of a distraction for most dogs. There are some dogs when it's necessary, and there are some times when it's necessary. Like when you're showing a dog a treat is great for bringing on the expression, for keeping them motivated when maybe they don't want to be there, and that's fine and all. But when it comes to your basic obedience stuff, I'm really an advocate of just you and the dog bonding, working together, and learning to respect one another and communicate. So anyway, that's that. She did good. I'm happy with her. And now I'll probably bring out some of the other dogs and do maybe a little bit of a pack moment with her, and kind of work on her confidence and socializing with the other dogs. I think she's fine, but I've not had her out yet with the rest of the dogs, or with you know, with some of the pack. So I'll probably do a few members, see how she does, and then we'll kind of build up from there. So I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.